Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling the absolute most fascinating essentials from this 300-page reference guide, Honey for Dummies. We're going to show you why this natural wonder is way, way more than just a simple sweetener. Whether you just kind of drizzle it on your toast every now and then, or you're a hardcore foodie, this explainer, based on insights from a master beekeeper and a certified sensory expert, is going to completely redefine how you look at liquid gold. But hey, before you reach for that classic little bear-shaped bottle in your cupboard, we gotta start with a question that might completely change how you shop. Is the honey in your pantry actually honey? Just hold that thought because the answer is definitely more complicated and honestly a bit more shocking than you might expect. So, to get to the bottom of all that, here's our agenda. First, the history of liquid gold, then harvesting and grading honey, the funny honey problem, apitherapy and home remedies, and finally, tasting like a sommelier. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the history of liquid gold, from ancient times to celebrity status. The sheer scale of honey's timeline is literally staggering. I mean, our story begins roughly 100 million years ago with Discosphaca apicula, which experts believe is the world's oldest bee. Fast forward to the ancient era, and honey becomes so deeply embedded in human culture. For over 10,000 years, it's played this massive role in our spiritual beliefs and folklore. It was so incredibly valued that it was even famously depicted in Egyptian hieroglyphs. And today, well, it's achieved what the authors call celebrity food status, highly sought after by top chefs worldwide. Moving right along, Section 2, Harvesting and Grading Honey, from bee to bottle. Actually getting this liquid gold is this beautifully intricate, delicate dance. Step 1 is totally up to nature. Bees gather the nectar and naturally blend it right in the hive. Beekeepers have to be incredibly patient and wait precisely until this capping process is finished. Then step 2 involves very carefully removing the bees from the honeycomb. And finally, the honey is cleanly extracted directly from the comb. It's just a totally fascinating partnership between insect and human, But what we actually extract from that comb isn't just one monolithic product. There's a whole bunch of distinct styles you can enjoy. There's the classic extracted honey, that's the liquid form we all know. But then there's chunk honey, which literally has a piece of the waxy honeycomb right in the jar for you to chew on. You can also find whipped honey, which is crystallized into this incredibly smooth, spreadable texture that's absolutely perfect for toast. Oh, and honey straws, which have become super popular as these quick grab-and-go energy treats. Okay, Section 3, the funny honey problem, uncovering food adulteration. So this brings us right back to our opening question about what's actually sitting in your pantry. Brace yourself for this shocking fact from the source material. More than half of the honey sold in the United States might be what the industry calls funny honey. Yeah, that means it might not even be produced by bees. The authors make a really clear point here. When human greed messes with the wholesome qualities of real honey, the consumer is the one who totally loses out. To really wrap your head around this, you have to look at the strict grading system. Pristine U.S. grade A honey, it must be perfectly clear, have excellent flavor and aroma, and be 100% free from any defects like caramelization, air bubbles, pollen, propolis, or wax particles. It's rigorous. But to cut costs and boost profits, some suppliers secretly dilute real honey with cheap additives like high fructose corn syrup. So if you're buying a super cheap, mass-produced bottle, you might literally just be buying flavored corn syrup. Crazy, right? Let's pivot to something a bit more positive. Section 4, Apitherapy and Home Remedies, Beyond the Kitchen. Once you make absolutely sure you have authentic, high-quality honey, its usefulness goes way, way past the kitchen. Enter apitherapy. This is an entire field dedicated to harnessing the natural nutritional composition of honey, along with other bee products, to act as a powerful, holistic healing agent for the body. And this isn't just modern marketing jargon. People have relied on these natural healing properties for literally centuries. The absolute best part is that you can basically create a spa at home using the DIY recipes from the book. You can easily whip up a honey sugar body scrub for exfoliation, a totally natural honey facial cleanse, a ridiculously effective sunburn skin soother, a restorative honey mineral bath, or even a whipped hand and body cream. Because of its totally unique composition, honey is just incredible at locking in moisture and naturally soothing your skin. And beyond skincare, there's this massive new trend taking over wellness diets right now, the fermented honey craze. It's actually super simple. By just dropping some garlic cloves into unprocessed raw honey, the natural water content inside the garlic kickstarts a natural fermentation process. The result? You get the sweet, savory, and incredibly gut-healthy glaze that is just perfect for roasted veggies, cheese boards, or even marinades. And finally, Section 5, tasting like a sommelier, expanding your palate. For all my true foodies out there, it is time to realize that honey is wildly complex. Most of us are totally used to seeing just basic clover or maybe orange blossom at the supermarket. But the book details over 50 different global varietals, and every single one has unique colors, aromas, and flavors. Seriously, there are honeys out there that taste exactly like toasted marshmallows, and others that legitimately taste like beer. So how do they get all these different flavors? Well, to understand that, a certified honey sommelier looks at a concept called terroir. Terroir basically refers to the unique regional environmental factors, like the specific soil and the local climate, that affect the flowers those bees are visiting. This fundamentally changes the nectar and completely dictates the unique sensory characteristics in every single drop of that honey. That's exactly why honeys that are blended by humans from random regions often end up tasting kind of muddy, while a single source honey just sings with the unique flavor of its natural environment. Wow. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the dawn of ancient times and the hieroglyphs of Egypt to the really rigorous grading of modern beekeepers and right into your wellness routine and your kitchen, honey truly is a complex miracle of nature. So now that you know its ancient secrets, how will you experience your next jar of liquid gold? If you enjoyed this, subscribe to In 8 Minutes and never miss what matters